Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and all variations thereof, and welcome back to the Shadows of Sorcery D&D stream. We have some sad news. As of last
Lucian is dead.
Yes, no, I've died. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. I've died. I'm dead. I'm no longer going to be able to host these sessions because I'm a lich. No. Aluka, unfortunately, has had to withdraw from these sessions. This is due not to anything bad. Aluka has gained a new job. They've gained new employment. But it does mean that their time during the day is a lot more limited. Which is sad, unfortunately. We are sad to see them go. So for this session, we will only have 3 of our 4 players. However, and we'll get to this in a moment, Aluka and I have recorded a final piece, if you will, to play out the end of their character's final role, if you will. So without further ado, let us load up the TaleSpire session. Now, last we left off, things happened. Who'd like to recap? Let's see if you were paying attention.
My memory barely goes back a week. I don't think I can recount from a month ago.
Saren,
also, Darren just got here.
You're muted. And deafened, I think.
I'll type it to him.
Thank you.
Still talking, apparently.
He's talking to his stream, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm talking to my stream. What's wrong?
We've started.
You've started?
Yes.
Yes.
We've
started?
Well,
we
are
then.
Starting.
Screw you too.
Wow.
Wow.
Anyway,
By the way, the miniature integration works wonderfully. I pulled my character into a private thing, and it worked without a problem.
Lovely. Right. In that case, you should be able to link your character to this campaign and just drag it in.
Question is, how do I do that?
And will it work?
Oh no, not the technology, not again.
There should be a guide on TaleSpire's website for how to do that. So that shouldn't be too difficult, I don't think. But yeah, so last we left off, one of you is now going to get to recap because I want to see how much you guys have remembered from last session. And it sounds like it might be Saren because the other 2 have stepped back immediately.
I woke up in a coffin.
He woke up in a coffin and I refused to play.
And then somebody walked through a painting. That is the extent of my knowledge.
I found shiny sword.
You found a flail.
Right, I found a flail.
Like remotely
I
like
found
a
shiny
sword.
sword.
It's like a ball with lots of little swords coming out of it.
I mean, basically, yeah.
I
found
find
weaponized
shiny.
bling.
Okay. Well. Alright. Last session, you guys managed to uncover the entrance to the Metano's Hold, which is a chamber usually used by members of the Order of Metano to store items, knowledge, resources, and general other stuff. This particular one is quite expansive compared to many of the holds that exist over the land, but it is relatively well maintained. When you
And
guys
occupied.
well, it was occupied. When you guys walked in, there was a priest standing, talking to a painting, and the painting was of a character who we will talk about in a moment. Before that, however, I would like to draw your attentions to this YouTube video, which is the final RP interaction between me and Aluka. Essentially, this is their departure. And it is the last sort of words exchanged between us for this campaign. For now, they may return. We shall see.
Alright, I'm gonna have to throw that up on my stream then.
Yeah, I'm going to play this for my stream in a second. And yeah.
Alright, let me know when you're gonna play it. I'll play it on my end.
I am going to play it around about now. Right. So, last we left off, you had all entered the, essentially the chamber belonging to the Order of Matana. There is a portrait at the end of the room, and in that portrait is a very lifelike depiction of the Baroness. You know her, well, you know her specifically because she was your former, well, fucking hell.
The throat clearing really worked for you in that moment, but I think you need to have a sippy.
Yeah.
Because you could probably go with the whole angle of, she was your former... Anyway.
Perhaps. Okay. Where was I? Oh, yes. She was your former, Anyway. The Baroness, you can't hear her in the way you would hear someone speaking to you directly. She is telepathically projecting her voice into your mind. But it's a one-way telepathic connection. So you can hear her because she's projecting through the painting, but she can't read your thoughts.
I see. Yeah. He's probably pretty used to that.
And the first thing that the Baroness says is, well, it's lovely to see you again, Guillaume.
It is even more wonderful to see you again, my Baroness. He bows lower.
I am delighted to hear that. Who are your companions?
As I have traveled among and far, I met with Lord Matano and was tasked with working with these. Though the dwarf is a new addition, recently dug out of a tomb.
A tomb?
This is...
How intriguing. You must tell me all about this.
There will be plenty of time for
Not at
gossip
all.
later, my lady.
Of course, of course. Now, unfortunately, you seem to have chased off my manservant who was assisting me here. I don't suppose I could bother you for a small task.
As always, I will do anything that is requested.
Good, good, good. Your companions are not required for this.
Understood. They have been in my companionship some short time, and I would bear fit to follow you instead.
Of course, of course. Now, unfortunately, this does mean that you will need to abandon your travels, as it were. This task requires utmost discretion within the court.
My lady, I will be ready for your words, and of course would return to your side, or where I was directed, regardless.
Good, good.
Guillaume
I
takes
do-
a very quick look back over his shoulder at the rest of the people, understanding that he is kind of speaking out loud, and he says, of course, there is some level of observancy.
Indeed, indeed. Well, I shall leave you to say your goodbyes. I shall require you to return to me within 2 weeks.
Understood, my lady.
And as you watch the portrait, the canvas ripples, and the scenery that is painted on it changes. Where once stood a tall, black-robed woman sitting in front of a open window, there is now a port town, sort of a cliff overlooking a port town that you recognize, but your companions do not.
He simply kind of nods in respect to that, and somewhat examines the scenario, the scene itself, as if he's looking for some sort of key detail or something like that. He's quite close to the painting, but he does nothing further and says nothing out loud.
Okay. Well, as it stands, the painting is... the port town is one that you do recognize. You traveled through there during your escape. It is about 3 days ride as the crow flies from the Baroness's court.
Close to home.
As you lean in closer to the portrait, the canvas ripples more, as if something is pulling on the other side of it.
He pulls himself away from the painting quite quickly, and removes his hat and mask, and stuffs them into his bag. And as he does so, he fishes the Nightingale Bell and the Journal of Dimedan out of the bag, and places them on the table behind him, as if leaving them there.
Okay. As you place the Nightingale Bell down on the table, you hear a very faint tinkling sound. And up to this point, the bell has not ever made a sound. It is strange. The bell does not sound like any bell that you've ever heard before. It sounds almost ethereal, as if the ringing isn't actually coming from inside the bell, but from very faintly all the corners of the room.
Ooh, I have a better idea. Guillaume is going to take one of the bells out of his eye and put the nightingale bell in there.
Okay.
As if keeping it safe.
As you do so, you feel a crackling surge of energy arc through your eye socket, and the world around you lights up with a silvery glow. Certain objects are highlighted in this bright blue aura, and the bell that you hold in your hands now, the one that you have removed, is one of these objects.
He gives a little smile. He seems pleased about this.
Okay. Any final words before you depart?
He is very specifically leaving that book on the table for Isaac to hold, though not to get wet like the other one. And he will leave one of his other bells behind, just in case. Just in case. He is then going to put his hand into the painting, and before anyone can specifically react, he is going to fully step through with the jingle of bells following him, and then nothing else.
As you step through the painting, you step out onto a windy cliffside overlooking this port town. As you look behind you, you see a ripple in the fabric of the air. And for a moment, just for a moment, you see your former party standing, staring, watching. And then the air smooths over like glass, and they all disappear.
Guillaume's smile gets a little bit wider.
Right. There we go.
What the fuck?
Right. So, Guillaume Mayer has left the party.
No.
And they have left behind a book and one of the bells that used to be their eye.
That was what?
So, for a little bit of background, Guillaume, when he took his mask off, he didn't have eyes. He had a pair of bells where his eyes should have been.
Huh.
That messed up.
That seems impractical.
That's
There
messed
are
up.
law reasons for this. Extensive law that me and Aluka have spoken about. But what you need to know, basically, is that the bells act as giving Guillaume eyesight after his original eyes were taken from him.
He's really playing up the Daredevil scenario, isn't he? Sound makes him see.
I mean, I guess it's not really a sound makes him see.
I don't think that connection works as well as you might think it does.
Yeah, no. Ed, are you gonna jump into the game at any point?
No one said it was time to.
Oh, sorry. Apologies.
All right.
It's time
Right. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is time. Okay. So, as it stands, you have all lost a party member today. and it is possible that Guillaume may make appearances in the future. I will not discount that. Yeah. You are down to 3. Where would you like to go from here?
Loot the room.
Loot the... Of course you want to loot the room. Okay.
Of course I want to loot the room. Find all the valuables.
I'll give a hand to looking through the books and such. Might be something useful here.
Okay, so a person just stepped through a painting after having a conversation with thin air, and you want to loot the room.
I wasn't even paying attention to the
you
conversation.
Make it sound so tantalizing to also try and walk through the painting after talking to thin air. That seems like such a safe and normal thing to do.
I mean, think about who you're talking about here, Lucian. You're talking about a barbarian and I'm assuming rogue who's interested in alchemy, and literally just got here like 10 minutes ago in time.
At the very least, we might be able to find something that will tell us what to expect on the painting other side.
Exactly. Okay. Meanwhile, Isaac's going to go and gather up the book that Guillaume left behind and the bell, which slightly bemusedly just puts in a pocket.
You have pocketed your friend's eye. Yep, fair enough.
Making sure it's not the back pocket. I don't want to sit on his eye accidentally.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as you pick up the little golden bell, and like the bells are like these, they're like small round bells. You know, the ones that you usually see on like sleighs and stuff.
I've never seen his play, but
as opposed to like hand bells, which would be really hard to shove in an eye socket.
Well,
I mean, that's what I've been imagining the entire time people have been chatting bells, but okay.
Anyway, yeah, as you pick up this little round golden bell, it feels warm to the touch. Not the kind of warmth of someone's been holding it for a while, but the kind of warmth that it would feel like as if someone had just pulled it out of a fireplace.
Ooh,
like it
painful.
It doesn't burn, but it's hot, basically.
Just like ponders it for a moment. Disconcerting. Puts it in the back pocket.
I submit that if you pull a metal bell out of a fire, it's going to be searing hot, but okay.
Well,
that was why he went to great lengths to specify it wasn't.
Choice of words there.
Yeah, anyway. Okay, so you are all currently in one of Matano's holds. Now, Matano's holds are essentially caches, if you will. They're areas that Matano's followers have gathered items and spells and books and weapons and supplies and all of that sort of thing, and they've stored them away. There are also, Ed, you would know this, there are also sometimes cursed items, cursed objects in these holds. There are, sometimes there are even trapped creatures, like trapped spirits or...
yeah, like, so it's as much for keeping things in as out.
Yes, basically. If you've seen Castlevania, think a little bit along the line of the Belmont hold in some.
No, that's what I've been imagining this entire way through. Don't worry, we're on the same wavelength. Hell, Trevor Belmont being a Belmont is part of the Isaac design in the first place, so it makes sense.
Nice.
I sort of suspected that.
Really? Was it the part of the first episode where I said he's kind of a Belmont, he kind of a Helsing?
No, not at all.
But yeah. Sam, did you figure out how to do campaign linked?
It's supposed to be here. Like, there's a tab I can open. Link Hero Forge miniatures. Refresh. It's supposed to show up here, but it's not. So I'm gonna quickly tab out, reset.
You have linked your Hero Forge account to your TaleSpire.
Yeah, I'm gonna exit the session. I'm gonna close the game. Gonna reset it. Try it again because it could be something just.
Okay.
While he's experiencing technical gubbins, I'm just gonna say that I've relayed the info on cursed items and shit to the room.
Okay.
Well, once he looks up from the bells and notices everyone's rustling about, just kind of wearily, just yes, just keep an eye out. At least there's cursed items usually down here. They keep things out as much as they keep them in.
Okay.
What
And
kind
don't
of
touch
curses?
anything that looks like a trap. And then probably
Are we talking poison curses? Are we talking ghost curses? Are we talking turns you into a newt curses?
probably best description being these people, my people, hunt monsters for a living. It's basically anything under the sun. We keep things to kill them. We keep them. We keep whatever's to hand.
What am I rolling to search here?
You would need to roll. Likely, it would. Well, I'm tempted to say investigation, but that's not really what you're doing.
Could we argue perception for like a treasure hunting sense?
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I'm particularly looking for anything involving transmutation.
Okay. If you can roll. I'd say either perception or investigation in this situation.
Let's see, which one of those do I have better?
Always the way. Oh, I should probably tweak myself over to apparently jittering through the table over to where the bells and stuff would have been.
Perfectly normal, perfectly sane.
Also,
Investigation is slightly better at +2.
Well, you've learned how to chat in character, Saren. That's a new one.
Press enter.
That is a dirty 20.
fair enough. Okay, so. Wait, what? No, I'm not gonna look at that.
We discovered how to chat in character. That's all.
Apparently. Okay, so as you look around the room, you spy a specific tome that is sitting on the shelf, lying.
Right.
The tome is battered. It looks old. It's got peeling gold leaf on the spine. The lettering is not in common. It is in Dwarvish.
Don't say that around much. What does it say in Dwarvish?
It states...
And can anybody else here read it?
I believe you are the only person here who can read Dwarvish.
Yeah, I might be able to maybe guess at it using Undercommon a bit, but that's the loosest I could get.
Okay, so...
Definitely
That's a bit
not
like
giants.
speaking Russian and thinking you can figure out Norwegian, but yes.
So basically, and it's a little strange to translate because what the lettering, the runic lettering on the tome states is somewhere between the alchemical processes of I have this written down. Don't worry.
We worry. We worry a lot.
Where is it? Here we go. the alchemical processes of Yaldrith. And as far as you can tell, Yaldrith is someone's name. Now, the tome looks ancient, and one of the things that you will note is that the script, the runic script, is not in common day-to-day Dwarvish. It is in Old Dwarvish. So, Dwarvish in the Shadows of Sorcery world is split into 3 dialects. You have Dwarvish slang, which pretty much everyone uses. You have Dwarvish Common, and you have Old Dwarvish. And Old Dwarvish is like maybe 1,000 years old at this point, and barely anyone speaks it. You know enough of it to be able to read this, and you know enough of the common language to be able to read Dwarvish in general. But Old Dwarvish is a harder dialect to understand, basically.
So it's like
Right.
Dwarf Latin.
Basically, yeah.
Or Old English, if you will.
Sort of.
Ah, yes, the ye olde English where jail is spelt Gaol.
Jeez.
I will grab this book and I'll start thumbing through it a little bit, see if there's anything going on that could be of use to me.
Ooh, okay. Roll me a sleight of hand check.
That is a +4 for me. 22.
Okay. So you go to pick up the book, and it is ancient. It is crumbling apart in your hands. As you pick it up, sheafs of parchment sort of become detached from inside the book and slide out. A couple of pages fall to the floor. You manage to keep most of it intact, but it is not in good condition. It's obviously been sitting on this shelf for maybe 70 to 80 years at this point. Like, it's not in good condition at all.
Right.
As you leaf through the parchments, you notice most of these alchemical processes that the book describes are basal metals. They are related to transmuting lead into gold, for example, or copper into bronze, and turning, basically making alloys and other stuff as well. Most of this is what a dwarf would use in their forge. A lot of these processes are very out of date at this point, but they are generally what a dwarvish blacksmith would use to make specific things. As you leaf through the book, a passage catches your eye, and it's near the back, and it's unlike the rest of the book. It's not written in the neat scrawled runes of a scribe. It is written in very rushed handwriting. It looks like something that someone who was very much not a particularly good writer would write in. It's a scroll,
Right.
basically, and it's barely legible at this point. But what you can make out seems to talk about the idea of turning flesh to stone.
Not what I
Meanwhile,
had in, not
what
what
are
I
the
was
other-
interested in, but it might be useful to keep a hold of.
What are the other two of you doing?
I'm chewing, but apparently I've just been asked about healing bullets. Yeah, in response to Gilk asking about healing bullets, he kind of just Isaac's going to just quietly facepalm a little bit and just rummage around and pull out one of I've never quite described it. So the bullets are for the aggressive ones. The AoEs and stuff are more like incense grenades. So he'll just sort of light one of those up and kind of hand it to Gilk and just sort of mime that he should be breathing in the fumes a bit. And by doing so, I will use Healing Word. So that will be... Give me a second. Can never remember what my fucking spells do. Well, there's about 5 different variations on heal.
Just leaves a grenade in my hand. Ooh, what's this?
No. You're breathing in the good fumes.
Breathing the good fumes.
So that's 1d4 plus spell mod. Give me a second. Also, where the hell did Adventurous Codex go? I did have that open. There it is. Okay. Let's go. I used the metal ones last time and they betrayed me, so we're going with the resin ones again. You are healed for 1d4. That's 2. Plus spell mod, which is I believe a 1. Yeah, because clerics are wisdom, aren't they?
So total of 3.
Total 3.
Cool, but 9 of 13 health points.
Nice. Okay.
Right.
Lionel,
And
you said...
why does this keep fucking... just the in-game camera keeps throwing me a floor above.
No, same. I'm also fighting a...
There is a button to lock.
Yes, I know, but it's just I forgot to lock it after I jumped back into the session.
Okay.
Oh, fair enough. Mine's just been ignoring it and going through it. I'm also fighting Adventurous Codex, which seems to not be understanding how to translate the basics of this stat is plus over to this stat should be plus.
So as far as my character, I'm gonna ignore anything that book-wise and look for weapons and tools, shinies, things that a barbarian would find value in.
Caress your flail.
Yes.
Okay.
My ball of swords.
You wanted to take the book with you, right?
Yes.
In its current condition, the book would not survive travel. If you wanted to take it with you, you would likely have to get it rebound or transcribed.
Can I jot down the bits related to flesh to stone?
Yeah, you can...
Wait, how'd I get up there?
Hold on. I'll write it out for you very quickly.
Can't catch me. I found a teleporting tome. Whee!
Oh, that's new.
Okay, so this is an excerpt from the alchemical processes of Yaldrith.
On the subject, if I accidentally leave myself unmuted at any point and start just loudly chewing, someone just tell me to shut up.
We lose Lucian.
No, I'm writing something.
He's typing.
Yeah.
Oh, he's typing.
Taka.
We were being too loud for Lucian to talk. Okay, there's a box over here. I want to open it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what we can suggest that we do when he comes back.
Okay, here we go. An excerpt from the alchemical processes of Yaldrith. Using the correct ratio of ingredients, one can turn gold to mud or flesh to stone. But even the desperate should not venture to the ingredients needed for such dangerous transmutation. And there we go.
The note has been noted.
Mm-hmm.
I've noted your notice.
I've noted him noting his notice.
Notes? What? Anyway.
Note you.
Right. So
I'll tell you what I've noted. This chest is note open.
that chest is note open. That is true. Would you... Okay. The chest is big. The chest is heavy. It is made of a very, very heavy looking, like, dark oak.
He's giggling already, Lucian. This is what you've done.
Yes, Aaron, the chest is big and heavy. You couldn't lift it.
And it's made of extremely
Hold up.
hard wood.
just for the shits and giggles of it, could I lift it? No.
No, you cannot. If you tried, you might break your back. Like this chest is about the same height as you. It is massive.
Okay.
Yeah.
A new door?
No.
I'm sad I can't bring my character
it
in.
It has two massive brass padlocks on the front. Like, two of them, and they look bulky. Like, they look really, really heavy.
You know, at least the jester could have done before going through the painting was unlock this thing.
It's probably got some kind of enchantment on it. Let me have a look. And I'm going to study the padlocks and see, try and ascertain if they're just ordinary ass padlocks or if they're in some way like inscribed, runic, or in all the usuals.
Roll me Arcana.
Okay. Hang on. I need to stare at my stats page and find what Arcana is. There we go. D20, where you at? Uh, 11 total. I see probably nothing.
So the padlocks, as you look at them, you notice that there are some small runes etched into the surface. You cannot tell whether they are magical runes or whether they are just decorative. You don't know if these padlocks are enchanted or not, but it is possible that they are.
And do they, like, in any way sort of feel weird to the touch or anything?
The left padlock feels quite warm. The right padlock feels ice cold.
Okay. Just as an experiment, he's going to sort of tinker with the casting pistol a bit and just lightly sort of hold Sacred Flame to the tip of it, kind of like a pilot light, and bring that up to the cold one and see if that does anything.
The flame goes out. It completely... It's not like the flame was just breathed on and put out. It's like the padlock sucked the flame away.
Does the padlock feel even slightly warmer?
No.
Interesting. Uh-huh. And similar sort of idea, just trying to cock and let a little bit of necrotic energy from Toll the Dead brew at the end of it, and then touch that to the warm padlock.
The warm padlock starts to glow.
Uh-huh. Gilk, you probably want to stand back. And he's going to take position in the doorway. This is very stupid. Aim and loose a properly charged up, properly fired Sacred Flame at the cold one.
Okay. As you do so, the shot arcs, essentially. It arcs towards the cold padlock, and just as it's about to hit, it vanishes, and the padlock clicks and unlocks.
Well, that's sound of progress, I think, as with a smile to Gilk. Alright, let's bust the other boy open. The switch is setting onto Toll the Dead, takes aim, fire on the hot padlock.
The warm padlock glows a brighter and brighter sort of white light. And then, with a very gentle click, it falls off the chest as well. Both padlocks are now lying on the floor. They did have keyholes, by the way, but that works too, I guess.
Just taps his nose. Just never trust a cleric of the hunt.
The box is now unlocked.
I have no chance of getting this thing open. Gilk, would you mind giving a brother a hand?
Yup.
All right, roll.
We're going to
strength
attempt to
with
we're going to attempt to lift the box lid open.
Roll me strength with advantage.
All right, second roll. I guess it's a 12.
Probably the 12.
Well,
12. I guess that's +2 because of
That's a good question, actually. Is it strength or athletics?
it's strength. Direct.
hang on.
Love how we're all using this new chat function
Yeah,
to the best of its ability.
It's +2, so 14 total.
Okay. With immense effort, because the lid of this box is immensely heavy. Like, it is incredibly heavy. You and Isaac managed to push the lid up and then lean it back against the table that is behind the box. Inside the box is lined with velvet, and inside the box is a slot that looks like it used to hold a sword, a set of throwing knives, a small set of vials, and in the middle, a pumpkin.
Well,
A pumpkin.
that seemed mighty worthwhile.
Are any there's none of those items are actually in there.
No. So the sword the groove that would fit a sword is empty. The throwing knives and the vials and the pumpkin are in there, and all of them have their own separate little grooves in the velvet.
You were looking for alchemy stuff, weren't you? To Darren.
A very particular kind. What you got?
We got vials, if that helps.
The vials are filled with some sort of liquid.
They appear to be filled with some sort of liquid.
I will examine the vials.
Do you need a boosty?
I'm good.
Okay. So, the vials contain, at first observation, a sort of... It looks like... At first glance, it looks like blood. Except for the fact that it is glowing a very faint dark red. It actually seems to be pulsing.
I'm going to choose not to drink this immediately and figure out some way to examine it closer.
Okay.
And some
Would
way
you
to
like to take
identify
with
what
you?
it is.
I feel like the priest probably isn't coming back anytime soon. We can take it with us if we need.
Well, considering that the locks were only unlockable by a member of the Order of the Hunt, it's unlikely that the priest was able to access this.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, did we ever figure out which he was a priest of?
He was a priest. Well, actually, lying. Roll me perception,
Okay.
because you're the only one who had any length of contact with him.
7.
You do
It
not
rolled
know
so
which-
well before it
which
fell off the
member
table.
Of the,
Yeah.
You do not know which order/church the priest was a member of.
Also, side note, please make sure to right-click and delete your die once you've done rolling it. Otherwise, it will
Yeah, they stack up
stay
quickly.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, we're quickly becoming a dice train here.
But yeah, so you do not know which order the priest belonged to. You do know that his name was Brother Matthew, but that's about it.
Helpful.
I think he was called Matt.
Matt.
Um,
Matano?
Who, Skullface?
No, that's Metacrow.
Oh.
Although, I do actually have a question. In the Guillaume's last play, he referenced that he'd met Lord Matano
he met
in...
Lord Metacrow.
I wanted to check that, because if that was actual spoken dialogue, obviously my ears would have picked up.
Yeah.
Right, fair enough. So, have some vials. I have no idea what these are going to do, and frankly, I don't want to be near them.
Well, I don't imagine I'll be finding out soon, but might come in handy.
Always happy to help a fellow of the sciences.
Sure.
Gilk is feeling a bit hungry and is eyeing the
need-
pumpkin.
I was going to say, do I need to offer you the pumpkin, or you were just taking the pumpkin? I feel like there's a reason they locked a pumpkin in this, but don't worry. The destiny of your magic arse may see us through.
Is there anything else in this room that remotely looks interesting to me?
You like knives?
I mean, there's a set of throwing knives in there.
Yeah, there's a set of throwing knives in the box. There is a table that has a massive map on it. Most of the other books don't really catch your eye. They all have titles in either Elvish, Draconic, or Common.
Gilk is gonna peek around the painting to see, like, if it was like a trick door or something.
The painting is freestanding in the middle, in sort of the middle of that corner. There is nothing behind it other than a large empty box.
You lie.
While they investigate, can I have a quick scout for any books in Giant?
In giant.
Yeah.
In Giant.
Really big font.
Yeah, Impact. 72 size.
So, there are no books specifically written in the Giant tongue. There are books that make a subject of giants, but most of them just talk about general dwellings.
Yeah, fair.
And, like, where they would usually be found. how
Yeah,
to
so
kill
studies
them,
of giants.
etc.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. It just kind of muttered to himself. Always wondered how they viewed themselves. Moves back to where he was.
I don't suppose... Do you happen to read Draconic out of curiosity?
Not me personally. I know a few
You
people who
sound
do.
like somebody who would know how to read Draconic, if you catch my meaning.
Not myself, actually. My buddy Dave does, but unfortunately I don't.
Yeah.
I'm more the sort of undercommon and giant sort of end of the spectrum.
I will review the map then for any pertinent information, because it is rare that somebody has a map on a table in a room.
In the meantime, Saren, roll me a perception check.
I'll take that. What do I see?
In the corner of the room, behind this large sort of chest over here, the one that just seems to have a bunch of
Cups in it.
mugs and cups in it, leaning up against the wall is about 5.5 foot tall quarterstaff with a small sort of jewel on the top. Looks a bit gnarled, looks a bit old.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Ooh, what's this?
Oh no.
Grabs it.
As you pick up the staff, you become overwhelmed with the need to hit the nearest figure of authority.
Knew it!
I'm not a member of any organization. Heck yeah!
But
Roll
I'm a gladiator. I don't find anyone a figure of authority.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
What's my wisdom at?
I'm guessing it's low.
It is it's zero bonus, so it's straight 11.
Oof.
Where the hell did I go? There it goes.
You become incensed with some form of rage that is not your own. And you proceed to pick up one of the mugs and chuck it at Isaac's head. How hard do you throw this mug? Roll me strength. Okay, not too hard.
11.
Isaac, take 1 point of damage and be very confused.
I never remember how to do damage on this thing. Is it pressing the minus or is it adding a -1 then plus?
No, just hit the minus.
Oh, it does. Oh, nice.
If it's blank, it just adds 1 static, or you could put a number in this empty space and it'll take away that many.
Right. So I seem to remember during the bloody stupid rat fight, I got stuck when it would only do it in increments of 1, where I wanted it like in 3s. Thank you.
We're fighting rats who were dealing free damage. I have 10 hit points. How bad was that fight?
Well, considering one of them actually managed to possess...
It was a rat mastermind.
Ah.
Yeah.
You remember that thing we were talking about last session? That wasn't a meme. I got
Oh.
possessed by a rat that was quoting
Yeah.
Sun Tzu.
Yeah, pretty much.
This rat was very wise.
It was a very wise rat, yes. After you throw the mug, Gilk, the need to commit extreme violence against figures of authority recedes. You are still holding the staff.
Isaac is just massaging his head, just, ow! By the way, Saren, you're muted on our side.
Again.
There we go. That better?
Yep.
Okay. I'm kind of looking at the staff and like... Huh?
I can't remember if Isaac saw the whacking stick before.
You did. Well, you sort of did.
I saw it as
Actually,
much
no,
of it.
You didn't.
I thought I would have. I can't remember if because I wasn't sure if I was dealing with the weird flame sword thing.
Yeah, you were dealing with. The
I'm
weird
gonna go.
flame sword thing.
Hey, Isaac, catch, and I toss the stick at him.
I'm going to attempt to step out of the way, knowing he just threw something at me last time.
You're not going to attempt to catch the staff.
No, he just threw a mug at me.
No,
Okay.
because I said, "Hey, catch." It's a psychological thing that someone will be instinctively to catch.
All right, then I'd like to try and wisdom resist the psychological impact of being told, "Hey, catch."
Sure. Roll me a wisdom saving throw, I guess.
Also,
I'm just gonna get out from in between these two.
also,
They're mostly
Definitely
aiming over
don't
my head,
canonize.
but I don't trust their aim.
definitely do not canonize this mechanic, Lucian. Otherwise, he's going to use hey, catch.
No.
Just like throw his sword at the boss or something. So that's a flat 18 plus 1.
Jeez.
You step out of the way. The staff sails through the air at a perfect 90 degrees from the floor and lands leaning against the table. Very gently.
All right, Gilk, don't touch that staff.
But why?
Because it's standing up by itself after you just threw it 90 degrees across the room. It's got its own gravity. It doesn't make sense. Don't touch it.
Could be useful for propping up tents.
We can find other things to prop up the fucking tent.
Yeah, I mean, literally an ordinary branch would do the same trick.
I will stand in your tent and use my head as a post before we use that thing.
That's just weird.
There is cursed stuff in down here. I warned you all, but you didn't listen, and there we go.
I'm going to quickly grab those throwing knives, because might come in handy, and then make my way out of here, I think.
Actually, do you know what? This is what you are. And I'm going to take the pumpkin from it and present it to Gilk. You are
okay.
a pumpkin.
Roll
Oh,
me
pumpkin.
a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no, cursed pumpkin.
Okay, so 13 plus 14.
As
That's
you
low.
pick up the
Oh wait, was that
pumpkin-
saving throw you said?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
saving
sorry,
throw.
that's a plus 3, not a plus 1, so that's a 16 total.
Okay. As you pick up the pumpkin, you notice that it is in fact a jack-o'-lantern, and the eyes of the jack-o'-lantern were facing into the box, so you couldn't see them at the time. And as you pick it up, the eyes of the jack-o'-lantern catch fire, and it starts to scream quite loudly.
Anything else?
I'm
Or
grabbing
is
the
it just
knives and leaving
screaming?
it in more rapid fashion.
It's screaming, and you notice that the shadows around the room are starting to coalesce.
I'm going to commit to this joke of handing it to Gilk. You are a pumpkin, sir, and walk out of the room.
Gilk, you are now holding a screaming, flaming jack-o'-lantern. What do
I
you
throw it
do?
in the fire pit and leave the room.
Oh. Are you... Okay. Okay.
Man said it.
I said it. I throw it into the fire pit.
It could have been worse. You could have thrown it through the painting.
The screaming stops. And the shadows in the room start to magnify. They coalesce. And out of the fire pit comes a robed figure. Tall, demonic looking, sort of... It looks... Well, it looks a little something like
Oh no, there's a mini, isn't there?
this.
There's always a mini.
At least it's you-sized.
Hey, Isaac.
Well, you say that.
Yes,
It's
pumpkin.
not, actually.
Pumpkin's not a pumpkin anymore.
It's still a pumpkin. It has the head of a pumpkin, but its body is made of black flame, basically. And its eyes are glowing with anger, and it is not happy.
I see you sliding away.
Gilk, roll me initiative. Okay.
God, there is no pleasing height to set the camera to, is there? You can either see none
No,
of the
there is.
room or
None of the ground now. The cut box helps, but not much.
Lucian, you need to start cutting up your instances a little bit more.
Yeah, I plan to. Like, this is one of the only large instances.
I'm gonna move
honestly.
myself slightly onto the stairs just so that I can actually remove the ceiling and see what the fuck's going on. There we go.
Okay.
Also, he will have slightly turned around if Gilk sounds panicked. That makes sense. If
Right.
the 10-foot man with a door for a shield is panicking, maybe worry.
Yeah.
Have you tried yelling at it? It worked
Not
last
yet.
time.
I have 10 hit points. I'm pretty sure that thing looks a bit above my station.
Yeah.
I've got 9. You're good. You're good.
Either I'm good or we're all screwed.
Well, I've got 14, but I'm still not going to tangle with that
Oh no,
thing.
Lucius turned on the battle music.
Oh no.
Right.
Thank you for reminding me I'd
As-
forgotten to unmute TaleSpire's audio.
Magic missile! Oh wait, wrong character.
Well, technically, you're attacking the darkness.
As the dark flames of this pumpkin-y beast climb out of the fireplace, you hear a sibilant whisper, and it's sort of it sounds strange. It sounds unholy, and it sort of goes, "Who dares to raid a hold of Matano? You should know better."
I
And
instantly point at Isaac.
For social
It's-
points, gonna just hold the shield aloft.
it starts advancing on you. And it is going to, because it can't see Isaac, I should point out, because currently it is quite focused on you, Gilk. It is going to attempt to spray a gout of flames at you. And I will need you to...
The chest lid is still open, right?
The chest lid is still open, yes.
I
But the
dug behind
pumpkin
the
is
chest.
not inside it anymore, so...
No, that's fine. The pumpkin's not inside it, but I use the chest sort of as a barrier between me and its flame.
Dive for cover.
Roll me dexterity with advantage, saving throw, to dodge this.
That one didn't work. Let's try the other one. There we
That's a
go.
bit better.
You
18.
manage to dodge the flames, and they don't seem to burn anything around you. They just sort of skim over the surface of everything. But you can still feel the heat from these the flames. Right, your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna first of all, I'm gonna be like, Isaac, get in here, magic thing, your specialty, and make sure I ready my shield and my axe. Trying to keep my, keep cover in between myself and it.
As you phase into the table.
I know, right? Love it. Oh, wait. Can I do this? No.
How
There,
does
I'm under the
one
table.
go about entering combat, by the way?
As soon as this creature catches your vision, or sees you, basically,
Yeah, I was just like,
You
do
will
me and
roll
Darren
initiative.
say that we're going to advance into it, and then you let us know when we arrive, that kind of stuff?
I will let you know when it is able to see you, basically. At the moment, it can't. As soon as it can see you, you will roll initiative, and you will enter combat.
Okay. So we are
see
progressing
me?
down the stairs.
It cannot see you, Line.
It's
You
got
are
tunnel vision.
too high up the stairs at the moment, and it is very focused on Saren. What would you like to do?
They've known these guys like 5 minutes. But also, I don't know the way out of this place that doesn't involve taking a leap into the sea.
And the owl.
And the owl. Okay, I'm going down the stairs.
Okay. As you reach the bottom of the stairs, roll me initiative.
I think it's pretty reasonable to say I progressed down since I've literally been
Dirty
called.
20.
Yeah, I suppose.
Also, I seem to have a torch stuck on my character, which glows. How do I
Oh,
turn that
light
back
turn
off again? Ah, there we go.
Right click your character.
Thank you. Finish.
Roll me initiative.
I knew I should have used the black dice. 20.
Okay, so
That's tied with me then.
okay, so you two
Does Nat
go
beat Dirty?
next. Yes, a natural 20 will beat Dirty 20. So yeah, you go next. Ed.
Okay, that's going to be bringing up the shield, cocking the pistol, waiting for loading up a round of... I'm going to ready, not cast yet, but since it's go big or go home time, I'm going to ready Guiding Bolt with that trained on this thing. And the trigger for that being...
Is this go big or go home time? I would say that to me this looks like go home time.
This for me is making threat of go big or go home.
Ah.
So raised the shield so it can see the shield, pointed the pistol at it, readied Guiding Bolt, brewing at the end of it, and just, this is your warning, stand down. And trigger for the readied action being if it attacks.
Okay. And Lang, what do you do?
I really need to get at least some kind of concealment from this. I don't 100% recall how sneak attack works in this version, but I'm guessing it's not charging head at it.
If you have advantage, you get sneak attack, or if there's an ally within 4 or 5 feet of it.
Right, neither of which apply right now, so... I'm just gonna hide behind a bookshelf for a hot minute. So I at least
Okay.
have concealment.
The elemental, because that is technically what it is, turns to you and goes, those who pilfer the holds of Matano have no place in this world.
Sorry, who's he addressing?
He's addressing it.
Oh, thank God.
And yeah, this creature is... It seems to be a guardian of some sort, essentially. And it is going to ready a blade. So one of its arms, sort of, the shadows that form it coalesce into a sharp, wicked-looking black scythe, essentially.
Still made out of black fire, I'm guessing?
It looks a little more solid than just fire, but yes.
any chance we can reason with it?
You can try. It's definitely intelligent. But also, you guys seem to have pissed it off royally at the moment. So, I don't know.
Well, I've made my move, so I'll try. I will attempt diplomacy my next turn if I can.
Okay. It is your turn, Saren.
I will try to flank it on this side while keeping my shield up as protective cover.
Okay. The elemental is currently focused on Isaac. It does not seem to have very good multitasking ability. Oh god, okay. This chat feature is going to be interesting.
Yes, it is.
This is less the chat, as in like party talking to you. This is just the sass bar for me.
More or less.
If you want to just sass someone, but you don't want to like be mean in character or talk over someone, just type it.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
exactly.
Right. It is your turn, Ed.
I'm just still gonna keep the guiding bolt trained on it. Still, just like indicate it by nodding just gently towards the shield that I've got raised.
Metapod versus Metapod, here we go.
Like, chapter of the hunt, Isaac Galmek, Order of Metano. Stand down.
The Spectre, Elemental, whatever you want to call it.
Spectamental.
Spectamental, yes. Let's call it a Spectamental, why not? Straightens itself. And for a moment it seems to calm, and then goes... I am Dinar Valkator, First Lord of the Order of the Hunt. I do not recognize you. When were you inducted to the Order?
Time's a blur in this business, you know that. 4 or 5 years.
What the Spectre is asking is for the exact date that you were inducted, not when, like, not how long you've been a member, essentially.
Do you want me to roll any form of intelligence to see if I can remember it that clearly? Because date and year structure wasn't something that came in when
Yeah.
writing the backstory.
Good point. I'm gonna throw you a current year, which would be around. I'm gonna give you a numerical year because the actual years are sort of done in a different way, but essentially it's around 1768-ish.
Back end or front end?
Sort of late 1768.
Okay. In which case, it just roll. When realizing that doesn't work, rolls the eyes. Fine. Early 1765.
The spirit, Spectramental, straightens, and its eyes dim for a moment. It looks taken aback, and it goes, oh, it has been a very long time since I awoke last. And it puts down I say it puts down the scythe. It reforms the scythe into what it was before.
An arm.
Yeah, well, a spectral arm. And it sort of settles again. It's no longer trying to attack you. Combat complete.
Doing the sort of like we're putting down the gun hostage situation thing. He's gonna like hold up the casting pistol to the side and then like sheath it again. Like, sorry about the throwing you in a fire. I was making a pun. We didn't realize you were sentient. The barbarian was being a pumpkin. I made the obvious connection. And what the hell did you do, Gilk?
You threw a pumpkin at me. It was screaming. I
handed you a pumpkin and you threw it up. What?
Well, I wasn't gonna eat a screaming pumpkin.
The Spectramental seems confused by this conversation.
Understandable.
It approaches the table and lays a sort of ghostly, spectre-y arm down on it, and goes, "Times change. Back in my time, opening a casket of possessions is very, very rarely done.
Nowadays, this is a cache living in a catacomb. It's free reign for anybody of the order who comes to find across them. They're considered caches of supplies. We didn't realize something sentient would actually be down here.
Yo kind of looks over at it. Speaking of which, how long have you been down here? Or, sorry, how long have you been trapped down here?
I have not been awakened in over 200 years, I think. And now, I don't know. Yeah, you would have heard its introduction. You recognize the name, Ed. You recognize the name of this spirit.
Can I get a spelling on it, though, please, for notes?
Yeah. So, Denar.
D-E-N...
Valktor.
Just checking that. That's basically Dinar Velktor.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, Dinar Valktor, member of the Order of the Hunt. In fact, one of the first lords of the Order of the Hunt. In that, early on, the Order of the Hunt was made up of several different chapters. And as time went on, all of those chapters merged into one order. Dinar Valktor was the first lord of the Chapter of the Flame.
Oh, okay, noted.
So, yeah. Right. You are currently standing across from a 200-year-old spirit, who is also the guardian to this place. And we are going to take a 5-minute break. Because we've been going for about an hour and a half, and I think it is time. So yeah, everybody grab something to eat, something to drink. and we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okie dokie.
And I can take this moment to catch up with chat. How are we, chat? How are we enjoying the session so far? Because I think it's going quite well. Well, the source of the summon, Alexander, would have been the pumpkin. Because its head is the pumpkin. And, well, that would be the source of where all the power is coming from. That would be the source of the spirit inside it. Now, I will let on that the name Dinar Valtor has popped up before in the sessions. Now, whether or not Ed will actually remember where that name has come up is a completely different matter, but I hope he does, because that would make for some fun combat, or maybe RP interaction. We'll see. Also, I'm currently munching on an apple. It's quite delicious. Right. Is everybody back?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Excellent. Okay. So,
So, before you cut us all off for a break,
So,
Well, we have
Gilk,
to
what
take
do
a
we
break
say
at
to the
some
nice
point.
spirit man?
I'm sorry for throwing you in the fire.
That's better.
Would you like to join us on our adventure?
New party member.
You've been stuck down here for 200 years. So long as you can go back into your pumpkin head shape, I can carry you around and you can see the world that you missed for the past 200 years.
It is pretty different. There's not as many of us as there used to be. We could use a bit of help taking the monsters down.
The spectre.
I respect you probably have better things to do, though, Lord.
The spectre chuckles and says, "A kind offer, but I'm afraid I must decline. My place is here, guarding this
Tube.
Well, I suppose you could call it that.
It's in a catacomb, but it's more of a cachet these days.
I am hardly the most dangerous thing down here. He says, anything that you might need, as friends of the Order of the Hunt, I'm sure you have already taken upon yourselves to acquire. But there is something that I would ask of you.
We're accruing a bizarrely long list of quests from spectral beings, so please, no harm in adding to it.
The items that are in my chest are very personal to me. I would ask that those be left alone. Especially my blade.
That wasn't in the... I meant to say when we spoke, as you spoke then, when we opened the chest, the sword already wasn't there. Someone's taken that already.
The spectre straightens and says, "You would lie to me?"
No. What's more, someone relocked that chest after taking it out. I had
But
to
you are
unlock it.
lying.
Search
My
us if
blade
you so
is
wish.
in this room. I can feel it.
Which one of us possesses it then?
It wasn't in the chest, I can tell you that much.
How big was it?
So the groove that would have fitted a sword was about the size of a short sword, essentially. So about maybe 1.5 feet.
Okay, so it's not the knives I picked up.
No,
No.
I was literally like, there's no bones about this. Isaac's just gonna indicate to Darren, like, before we knew that these were personal possessions, we took throwing knives and some vials, and there was knives, vials, and pumpkin, and a slot of a sword, but none of us have touched it. Especially since I had to unlock the chest in the first place.
But
If it's in this room, it
I
is not
can
on one of us.
feel-
We're happy to help you find it, though.
the aura of my blade is coming from you. You are lying. You hold my blade. And the spirit seems to be getting more and more angry.
Hang on. Wait. Let me try something. And I'm going to rummage in the pack and pull the... Hang on a second. Okay. Adventurer's Codex, I can't tell where the heck it's even gone. It's not in the inventory section. Oh, there it is. Magic items. And I'm going to put the dagger down on the table. And just put that there. We found that at the mansion of a man named Lord Meticro.
Lord
Several miles from here. I didn't put two and two together. I'm sorry. But does the
He's
words "in
still
fire we live"
alive?
mean anything to that?
Momentarily distracted, the spirit goes, "Lord Metacro? He's still alive? How?"
In a sense, he's apparently
yes.
a lich.
Skullface, yeah, he's still kicking.
A cleric of... well, I'm not sure it's a cleric. More a priest of Tenor did try and blow up the manor. But he is still very much alive.
I'm very surprised.
That
Whilst I
was in a
alive,
statue in his garden.
The Order of the Hunt was tasked with killing Lord Metacrow.
How long ago? Because we take jobs from him now.
No matter.
Hey, maybe Spirit Lady has some insight.
Addressing the hand. I mean, if you want to tag in on this at any point, Mildred, you're more than welcome to, but I respect your silence, if so.
As you speak to the hand, as it were.
Talk to the hand! If it talks back, you're in trouble.
A blue spirit appears nearby. And she goes, well. Valktor.
I take it you already know him.
It's been a long time. And Valktor turns to her and goes, Delamain. I should have known you'd hang around that filthy lich. And they seem to be having a bit of a staring contest now.
I vote we leave them to it and leave.
Kind of more difficult for me. I'm sort of bound to that one. I love that. That's where Gilk's brain went.
Pre-existing relationship, maybe.
Delamain, who is the woman that is bound to Isaac.
I'll update her name from Mildred.
Mildred Delamain. Her full name is Mildred Delamain. But yeah.
No wonder she's angry.
She turns to you and says, Valktor was a tyrant. One of the many reasons that the Order of the Hunt is now only one chapter instead of 12. And she turns back to the spirit and says, it's good to see you looking so alive for a change. Though I suppose you always did have a knack for violence. And Valktor sort of seems a bit affronted at that and goes, I could say the same for you. But then again, I should have killed you long ago. But I guess somebody got there before me. And he turns to you, Ed, and goes, be careful of this one, young hunter. She is much more powerful than she seems. I wish you luck on your journeys. I would have liked to accompany you, but I am bound to this place. Leave the dagger, leave my blade, and leave... And he turns to you. Lying, he turns to you, Darren.
Yep.
And goes, you may take the vials. I have no use for them anymore. But I would ask that you leave the knives.
Happy to. Do you know what was in the vials?
You hear a low rumbling chuckle from the
Spectre Elemental.
Spectre Element. Yep, Spectre Elemental. He goes, the vials are my blood.
Ah,
And one thing to note, and this is not information that you know yet, but it is information that Ed knows, and it is that the statue that the sword was recovered from is a likeness of Valtor. If you can remember what it is, you can remember Valtor's species. But good luck with that.
He was a Dragonborn, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
I'm going to gently and respectfully return the knives to the chest, and then I'm going to turn to Isaac and say, okay, we have two options here. We can go through the painting, or we can go upstairs. Personally, I'm of the mind of the stairs option.
No, absolutely the stairs option. We came down here for supplies before we went looking for another job, and things have spun way out of control. Again, to Tenor, no offense.
I woke up inside of a coffin. Not going to argue.
Actually, I do have one question, Lord, if that's all right.
Of course.
You can sense magic by the feel of it. You felt the presence of your blade in this room before I even knew it was yours.
Yes.
Can you sense if there's anything, other presences beyond yourself, Mildred, any spectral presences down here? Because we might have had encounters with a very, very odd rat. And I'm wondering what purpose it might have served.
The
I'm told I got
spectrum,
possessed.
Valtor turns to you and goes, "Oh, him. He is not. How should I put this? If he's still around and not jumping from body to body,
Seems everyone's still around these days.
he is no friend. I would be wary of the man who uses rats as a voice.
Right.
I cannot sense him beyond these walls.
Okay, so if we bump into him, we run back here. Good.
I cannot sense anything beyond the walls of this. You may as well call it a prison. Everything past those stairs, you will have to deal with on your own. But I wish
No
you
problem
luck.
at all.
And,
Just good to have a better idea what we're dealing with. Thank you.
Indeed.
And sorry about the sword. It took me far too long to put two and two together.
And with that, Valtor, all of the flames slowly sort of get absorbed back into the pumpkin, and it falls onto the table with sort of a very sharp thud.
Is it
Would you
possible
like
to
to be
politely
put
Yep, same thought. Is it possible to politely put the pumpkin back?
Yeah, you definitely can.
Eyes facing into the chest.
Speaking of
Thank you
spectral,
for
there's
removing part of the floor as you present us the pumpkin.
Sorry.
speaking of spectral, there's a die that keeps on the other side of the table that just keeps flickering in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
I can't.
No, it's gone.
Oh, it's gone.
But yeah. So you take the pumpkin and you store it back in the chest.
Put the sword, well, dagger, but yeah, back where it should be.
Yeah. As you do so, the locks, as soon as you close the lid of the chest, the locks levitate back into place and relock themselves.
Good boys. I had no idea how to put you back on.
Yeah. Mildred is currently floating nearby, and she doesn't seem particularly concerned about anything at the moment. So, yeah.
Thank you for tagging in, Mildred. It's actually seems to have calmed him down quite nicely.
Valtor was a prodigious warrior back in the day, but he seems to have let himself go. And with those words, she disappears back into your hand.
Quick muttered address. I promise we are going to the mountains and sorting out the witch at some point. I just need to actually get out of this city first.
There is no response.
No, he wasn't expecting one. He's just addressing it.
Okay. What would you all like to do now?
Oh, there's still that other area with the cold flame.
There is.
I
yes.
would not recommend it. We've had enough bad experiences with fire for one day. Maybe even a week.
But loot.
No.
Loot.
You've got a nice flail. I've got a
All right.
bizarre ring. And he's got vials. Let's leave
Then
that
let's-
be. We also lost banana skin, if you didn't notice that bit back there.
Tavern?
Who I should point out was the main artillery of the group.
Beer sounds good.
Beer oh, okay, yeah, beer sounds good.
Beer it is.
Does anyone remember the way out?
I can.
I
make
didn't
it.
know it to begin with.
Your lost cause.
Just follow the damage.
It's this direction.
Yeah. Knew that canonically, just wanted to give people an opportunity for, it might be this way. Goes the way we haven't gone or anything. I think I just threw myself over a set of rubble and I've vanished.
Oh.
I can see you.
Can you?
Oh, wait, no, it's my bad. It's because I moved slightly higher than I had been standing and thus moved beyond my draw distance.
Free.
It's like a tour guide, and if you look on your right, you'll see how we actually were supposed to get out.
Arrow keys to move around as well, line, by the way.
Yeah, but this is a bit tedious.
Yep, you've also gone the wrong way. It's easier to get through stairs and stuff, basically.
And up clock towers.
And up clock towers, yes. Okay. You have returned to the cathedral's main sort of area.
Yeah.
And as you sort of walk out of the
Oh, that was tiring.
I've lost connection.
waiting on
to the
GM.
I don't think that's
Yep.
some kind of seed.
It literally
wrong?
is.
Is it wrong?
At least it's not the one with the exploding cows.
I've missed a lot in this campaign.
Okay. That's weird. Oh, there I go. Oh,
Oh, you borked it again.
has failed to correctly assign a player an important internal ID. Rather than risk screwing up the board, we are leaving. Feel free to rejoin after closing this message.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Should we all just disconnect from the game?
Sent to the space between boards. Hold on.
Oh, we're back.
Oh, there we
Maybe.
go. Okay, I'm back. Right. Okay. So, as you walk out of the catacombs, you are greeted by one of the nuns of Tenor.
Oh, thank God, somebody alive.
And she seems displeased, would be a mild way of putting it. And she looks you up and down and she goes, I heard a lot of very unnerving sounds. What did you find down there?
Do you want the short version or the long version?
You don't want to know.
The short version, please.
We found one of the first lords of the hunt, apparently, inside of a screaming pumpkin. We found
We found
a
him in a
dwarf.
coffin.
Yeah, we found a dwarf in a coffin. Apparently he'd been pushed in, he says. I don't know, possibly just got stuck.
Definitely
found-
pushed. Thank you very much.
Okay, definitely pushed. No problem.
Oh, he was possessed by a talking rat.
I was possessed by a talking rat that is very wise, and I was personally warned away from there by one of the lords of the hunt. I am not going to dispute that. And also, we might have found a... You got a better look at him, Darren. Like a priest who was talking to a painting, then ran through a painting, and then our jester, the banana skin looking one, he went in there as well and spoke to a baroness, I think I caught. He was a very long way away.
Yeah, Father Mark, I think. It was up here earlier.
I thought you said it was Matt.
Mats, that's the word.
Yeah, Father Max.
And
the tiefling ran off at the rats.
Matthew?
Yes, Matthew, that's the guy. He walked through a painting. I don't know if that's a religious thing.
Certainly not a scripture I've ever read.
The nun sort of closes her eyes and pinches the bridge of her nose
He's a wedding planner, if that rings any bells.
and just sort of sighs and says, Go before something else happens, please.
It has been a day.
On the plus side, that catacomb
that
you
cow
wanted opened is opened.
And that cow exploded.
It was part of opening the catacomb, turned out.
It might have been a better idea to just leave it shut.
Probably. Watch out for the rats.
Definitely.
They're very wise.
The nun seems more and more confused as you go on, and yeah, she just turns around and just walks away.
Mind the big
Awkwardly,
rats.
that's where the exit is.
So yeah.
Nudges Gilk. The good thing about Tenor is they rarely file the paperwork.
Good thing.
I do not want to have to explain that to my higher-ups. Although I do have a small question. We wanted to find the priest for a tip on a job, and we've lost the priest. You were looking for alchemy stuff. Do you have a job in mind?
Taverns usually have good jobs. Let's find the shady one.
How much do you know about magic?
Faith-based, arcane-based, patron-based. There's a lot of varieties.
Transmutation, specifically. Don't much care what's origin it comes from.
Way out of my remit. Although, I suppose, and quick rifle through the memory banks. Can I think of any alchemical-based hunters?
Can I? I'm sorry. I need to do this. I need
Go
to
ahead.
do this. Can I use entertainment to pull a coin out from behind a dwarf's ear?
Yes? What?
Technically, that's conjuration.
I am an entertainer.
I mean, you
So my
can-
magic
Sleight
trick
of
is, you know.
hand?
You would
Yeah.
have to use sleight of hand, but yeah.
All right. Let's try this. Oh my god. 12.
You
Do I get any bonuses for being an entertainer?
I'll give you +1 for being an entertainer.
So 13.
You make as if to pull a coin from behind the dwarf's ear, but you fumble the coin, and it lands on his shoulder instead.
Yeah, look what I found.
Very impressive.
Sorry, he's like
right.
that.
Right. I'm in the market for someone or some means to perform a certain ritual. If you happen to have any leads on that,
We're
maybe
not
we
going to
could
have
work
any
together.
leads on a certain ritual. We're going to need more context than that.
Transmutation ritual.
Got that.
Very,
Again, it's a
very
wide remit.
long-lasting transmutation ritual.
Again, it's a wide remit. What are you transmuting into what? Then we know who we're looking for. Because I'm looking for a witch in the north, and I've no idea where to start.
I would think the north, but I'm
Yeah, that's a
I'm
that's a
interested in
cardinal direction.
turning one creature into another.
That's close enough, and probably the most we're getting. Right.
Any
To
more
Gilk.
detail is going to require a bit more of a longer-lasting relationship here.
To Gilk, just do we think we can blag it past the librarian without the jester?
I've lied
Helpful.
my way into more secure locations.
This guy's weird. Okay, not you, the guy that I'm thinking of going to see. Okay, well, it's probably the best we got other than pub. Do you want a pub before the librarian or after the librarian? To Darren.
Pub.
I know what you want.
Will him being utterly hammered help us at all?
It won't hurt.
Just a calculation face.
Right.
You did say that the drink spoke to you last time. It might give him ideas.
Pub.
Pub.
Pub. Okay.
Pub!
I
Fair
don't know.
enough.
Pub?
Pub. Apparently.
Alright,
Okay.
we're going to the shady one this time, not the prim and proper bullshit that they took me to.
What do
I
you
need to
mean
find
the
those-
They took you to a dockside pub that had like.
Yeah, but a nice dockside pub.
I'm sorry.
He
that
wants
place
the
was-
real sleaze bar.
Okay, sure. I mean, in that case, you're gonna want. Well, you're gonna want the Rose and Thorn.
Alright, where's that?
Well, you'll have to ask someone for directions, I guess. Just ask for the shadiest pub around. I don't know.
Yes, a
Like,
Titanic man
you're
asking
currently
direct me
sitting
to
in
the shadiest
You're
pub.
sitting in a cathedral right now. They're probably not gonna tell you where the nearest pub is. Gotta be honest.
Clearly, you have not been in many cathedrals.
I need to be buying their communion wine from somewhere.
You don't know the priests in my town.
Both of my parents were church bell ringers. I can tell you, they were very big about their ale.
If we do end up asking a guard, I'm going to want to make sure that it's not the one that Nif-Naf traumatized.
This town is very empty of people.
I noticed that.
But more full of buildings than it used to be.
Yeah, well, the people are a problem because we know what happens with
Yeah,
too many
it's fine.
minis
We're just
around.
taking the piss, mate.
Okay, so yeah, it's late evening at this point. You guys have been down in the catacombs for maybe 6 to 7 hours at this point. And a lot of the shops are closing down. People are going home. But the nightlife of Daniseld is relatively good. And there is a steady flow of people heading down to around about here.
I see that.
Oh. Can you guys see the
Yep.
ruler? Yep. Okay. So that's sort of where people are heading at this point.
Let's follow them.
Yep.
Can't hurt to
So-
follow the crowd.
You would need.
Oh, hey,
to
there's a guard.
go
Hey, buddy!
That way.
You only just noticed them?
I just noticed them. Yeah, I turned my camera and I noticed them.
Oh, right.
And
Whee!
Beautiful.
I like that I can do that with the ruler. I can just lay out the path that you guys would take, essentially.
Yeah.
You're like a human A-star algorithm.
What?
A-star, it's a pathfinding algorithm.
Oh, interesting.
I was going to say he's doing the Indiana Jones traveling by map. It's just a little line going along.
A little bit. There is a
Well.
tavern.
Entrance on this side.
Entrance over here, actually.
Oh, lordy lo.
Oh, and there's an entrance like right by me as well. But okay.
Yeah, you can. Like, there's several entrances to this place.
Here we go. I'm in.
Everybody squeeze in. Might be easier if I remove the roof. There we go. Oh, still dark.
Yeah, sorry, give me a second.
Well, it is evening.
There we go. Okay, so as you enter the tavern, it is. I realize that it doesn't look like it, but it is crowded. There are people everywhere. There is, there's a bunch of there's a bunch of servants and like the tavern owner is shouting orders from behind the bar. There's a bunch of meals being taken and thrown around, and like you see barmaids and barmen bustling through with heavy laden trays, and in the corner sits a band of minstrels who are plucking away at their strings.
First, food and drink.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I've still got some stones lodged in uncomfortable places.
This is not grave dust in your hair.
True.
You approach a bartender. What would you like to order?
I
I'm
bought the
just gonna
last
go with
round,
a
you
light
can-
stout.
I bought the last round. You can do this one, Gilk, and I'm gonna find us a table. Do I need to percept a table?
There is an empty table, sort of over here. Can you guys see that? I don't-
I'm not seeing a.
We're at an empty table, are we not?
No, you're
Technically, they're all empty.
Shall we play warmer, colder?
not. Hold on.
Oh, I see
Yeah.
it. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. Oh, hey, it's another me.
Yeah, it's a little difficult to, you know.
I
well,
didn't
they're
realize
here.
Dopplers were a thing in
Roll
your
for
campaign.
initiative.
It's
But
a
yeah.
mimic. They've learned to mimic humans now.
Lucian, do you still have the original document for Gilk in Google in your Google Docs?
Yeah, I do.
Because I don't remember if I had put anything regarding his past. I'm trying to find it. Because the biggest thing is I want him to start looking for that bandit group.
Hi, Luca. Yeah, we just finished within the cathedral, so we are sad to see you go. Hopefully, Guillaume will make you a return one day.
That's two party members who never returned from the catacombs.
Well, one of them ran away from the catacombs, so you know.
Ah, but they didn't return from the catacombs. Return is when you've actually gone in and done the stuff.
True, I suppose. But yeah. So, yeah, well, like, there are
His background,
bartenders
yeah. Anyway,
around. What are you guys ordering? Because what you guys order depends on how much money you will spend.
what's on the menu?
So you pull a matron aside and ask what is on the menu because you can't see a menu board anywhere, and she goes, well, we've got roast pork, roast beef, roast chicken, roast, and she lists off a whole host of just roast meat.
Roast to roast, nice.
Followed by, but if you want something a little harder, we also have, we've got fried dragon scales, we've got, I don't know, a bunch of alcohol you could buy, there's plenty of stuff like that, and I need to get going, I have lots of tables to serve, and she bustles off.
I could go for a bit of roast chicken. Anyone else?
Girls. Yeah, get a couple
I'm
of.
just getting a light stout, I think.
Man who lives on alcohol. I can respect that.
What do you say? Split a chicken?
Yeah, well, no, not literally. I know you take that too closely, but yes, we'll split a chicken.
Okay, so a light stout, a roast
And no
chicken.
more purple smoking booze.
Just regular mead for me.
Regular mead and
Stiff one for me, please.
fine. You'll get a vodka. That totals up to about 5 gold. Ooh.
Don't really have 0.5 of a gold. Gilk, are you
No,
taking
5
3 and I'll take
gold,
2?
Not.
No, I know. I'm saying to Gilk, I don't really have
Okay.
0.5 of
No,
a
for
gold.
splitting,
Are you
I'm
alright? Are you alright to take 3 and I'll take 2?
Well, you can split. We have gold, silver, and copper. Remember?
Yeah, if we're holding gold pieces though, unless we're like getting change back from them.
Yeah, do you have pocket change? Is it all gold pieces?
No.
Oh,
it is,
I've
is
got
pocket
170 gold pieces and a single silver piece.
change. Oh, yeah. Well,
That's a lot
5
of money to
silver
be walking
pieces,
around
1
with.
gold. No, 10
Let's grow
silver
pays well.
pieces, 1 gold. Anyway, yeah. So basically, subtract 5 gold, respective to how you want to distribute it. I guess.
Well, who's paying? Yeah, I'll pay the 3 gold.
And I'll pay the 2. And Darren, this one's on us.
Oh, cheers.
We've put you through enough today.
As my ever so small pouch of coins gets smaller.
What the fuck? I can't seem to edit my money. Oh, there we go.
So yeah. Okay, so as you sit and await your meals and your other stuff, do I actually have roast chicken? That's a good question.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
I do. Wow. Fair enough.
Well done.
Now cut it in 2.
Attack the chicken.
That. And
I can't. I'm sad.
there we go. Nice. I'm surprised that I could do that, but yeah, TaleSpire. What do you know?
Yay.
As you sit and enjoy your meal, Okay, hold on. Who's gonna get the most drunk here?
Probably
Okay.
not me,
With
because
a
I have
straight-
racial
with a-
resistance to poison.
I'm gonna have you all roll me Constitution
Oh boy.
to see who gets the most drunk.
Oh god, no!
Is that con flat or con save?
Can't save. I'm at 10.
Does this include... Does alcohol count as poison for the purposes of this? Because it usually is treated as such.
Alcohol poisoning, maybe. Alcohol,
Alcohol
as
poisoning,
in drunk.
maybe. Alcohol as drinking, no.
Right. So I don't get advantage. Damn.
13 total.
Okay. And line.
I didn't even
Oh,
see
wow.
the dice!
Okay.
I didn't even see the dice. Oh, they rolled outside somehow.
So even when you could see the dice, it didn't improve much.
Apparently not. No, they somehow decided to roll outside the tavern.
Oh my god, they
Didn't see-
have! What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that count if they roll outside the building?
Yes.
Yes.
It does.
Sadly, we're not at a physical table, so floor vantage isn't really a thing.
Okay.
Well, that's a free. That is a either a 4 or a
Ed?
2 total for me.
Roll me perception.
Sorry, was that Ed
Lying.
perception?
Yes. Roll me
Okay.
perception. Lying. I would like you to roll me dexterity to keep yourself from falling over.
Dirty 20.
Right.
17 plus 3.
Okay. As you look around, you spy out of the corner of your eye.
17.
Okay, you're fine. You managed to stand. You spy out of the corner of your eye an old man coming in through the door holding what looks like a very heavy bag. And he looks shifty as fuck, would be appropriate here. And he walks in through the door, and he's holding this heavy, heavy bag over his shoulder. He walks up to this table here and drops the bag on the floor next to him and starts conversing with a tall wizard who is sitting at that table. And the wizard is wearing red robes. I realize that the wizard is actually wearing blue robes, but in
That's fine.
this red robes, yeah.
Oh god, it's Usador.
Who?
Usador. Usador the Blue?
No idea.
No. Trying to blank me.
I'm afraid you've lost us there, Line.
Wizard of the 12th Realm of Ephesius? Master of Light and Shadow? Manipulator of Magical Delights? Devourer
Is
of
it a
Chaos?
feces?
Champion of the Great Hall Tarakas?
Speaking of magical, my beer is floating.
So
What have I
yes,
told you about
a
the magic
conjurer of
booze?
tricks.
Okay. Anyway,
Actually, where is your beer?
It's on the chicken!
Yeah, it's a glaze.
oh, I
Oh,
see.
okay.
Right.
I scrolled the vision plane down too far. Okay, that makes sense now.
I'm not gonna touch that anymore. I'll leave that. Okay. Yeah. What would you guys like to do?
I'm concentrating heavily on staying upright and checking the vibes I'm getting from everybody in this room.
I'm gonna go up to the barkeep and inquire about any potential bandit activity in the area.
Do you announce that you're going to go off and do that before going and doing that?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go get some intel.
While you're up there, would you mind asking about witches in the north? I know it's vague, but it's all I've got to go on.
Sure.
Thanks. And gonna surreptitiously, in my case, keep an eye on them two in the corner. Under the pretense of lounging back in the chair and enjoying his vodka.
Saren, you walk up to the lady behind the counter and you ask her about banditry and general nuisances around, and she goes, "Oh, we don't get much of that down here. No. Town guard is quite good actually. Quite lovely people. We have a few young gentlemen in the guard that are very good regulars actually." And she winks playfully at you. And then she goes, "But I did hear that up in Redane, they're having some trouble. Poor people over there. They're not very good at the whole being good, apparently. But well, what can you have? I hear that the church sent some people up there a few weeks back, but they never came back."
Definitely worth taking a look into. You said this was up in the Redane area?
Yes. Redane, a little town up to the north of where we are. It's quaint. I've only been there a few times myself, but I hear that it's quite a lovely place to settle down once you get past all of the nuisances.
I could handle a nuisance or two myself.
And she bustles off to assist another customer.
I'll just hang out at the bar until she's less busy and wait for her. He's like, "Forgot." Buddy's asking about witches in the north.
The witches? We haven't seen a witch here in years. I don't know about up north. I haven't been there myself in ever actually, now that I think about it. But if there are witches up in the north, well, I would steer very clear of that.
Not a possibility. Would anyone else in town have more information, or would there be a bounty board of sorts?
As far as you're aware, there isn't a bounty board. The most likely people to have information relating to your current queries would be the town guard.
I thank her for an info and leave 2 gold on the counter.
Okay. Take away 2 gold from your money pool. In the meantime, Ed, the shifty-looking man with the sack pulls. As he's talking to the wizard in the corner, he pulls a onyx orb out of his bag and places it on the table. It seems to be glowing faintly purple, and he sort of pushes it towards the wizard. And the wizard drops a pouch full of gold coins and pushes it back towards them. They seem to be having a trade of some sort. That's what's happening over there at the moment.
He's just gonna lightly scribble in his notebook about the which is actually what I'm gonna be doing. So shifty. Yeah, just basically noting what he sees, like shifty man passing orb to wizard, red robes.
What are the vibes like? Do I perceive anyone in here as a potential hostile threat?
You do not, in general, perceive that anyone in here is a threat. You do start to feel like dancing.
What would be my dance skill?
Performance.
Oh god. Yeah, performance.
I only have a +2 in that. I'm gonna hold off for the time being.
Bearing in mind that if you were to do a dance, you would be doing it with a disadvantage. Being
That
you're
too,
drunk.
yes.
Darren, can I top you off? And just sort of jingles the vodka a little bit. Do you need a top up there, bud?
I'm going to just politely refuse as well as I'm presently able.
I can't tell if you're shaking your head or just swaying.
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
Fair enough.
Okay. Right. The shifty-looking man gets up to leave and exits through the front door of the inn. Yeah.
Shifty looking man is getting a shift on.
He really is. He can shift it. He can really
He's got
shift
maximum
it.
overshift.
He's shifted into an. He's going. Wait, no. I can never remember if it's Doppler red shift or blue shift, but whichever one is going fast.
Technically, they're both going fast. It's just where they're going towards you or not.
Yeah.
I don't.
You know the one I mean. The one going away.
I think that's red shift.
I think
maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's red.
The red-robed wizard in the corner picks up the onyx ball, pockets it, stands, and how do I describe this? He places a book down on the table in front of him, flips through it, scribbles something in the margins of one of them, picks it up and puts it in his bag and walks out. As he walks out, a note drops from his pocket and falls to the floor.
Is he too far gone that I could do the "Oh hey sir, you dropped this"?
He's just rounded the corner out the door.
Okay.
You could probably still catch him.
So I'm gonna toddle my way over and investigate the note. See if it's worth pursuing him for.
You pick up the note. It's folded in half. It has a name written on it, which says Marcus, as well as the impression of a pair of lips.
Flip it open and give it a quick skim.
The note is a request for a meeting of the Sorcery variety, as well as a promise of future endeavors.
I'm going to a speedy toddle to the door and just see if I can see them advancing away and see if they're sort of within a distance that I could feasibly catch up.
Yeah, they're still.
Isaac
within the-
respects this is the sort of thing that definitely people would want to keep hold of.
They're definitely within a distance to catch up. They're maybe like 15 feet away.
Okay. So over the shoulder is just out the door, just Gilk, don't break anything. Folding the note back up and then just chasing after the guy with the usual sort of excuse me, sir, excuse me, trying to catch the attention.
As you get sort of halfway down the street, the wizard turns around and looks at you and goes, "Can I help you? Can I help you, young man?"
Excuse me, and then sort of moves up as close as he can before it becoming uncomfortable, and sort of surreptitiously, I believe you might have dropped this, sir, and indicates to the note in his hand.
The wizard looks you up and down, then looks at the note and goes, "That's not mine."
Oh, my mistake then, sir. Completely my mistake. It's just there aren't that many people standing up and walking out of the bar right now.
As you
Not exactly a large group of people to pick from.
furtively, the wizard sort of looks around, like back and forth, making sure that no one's watching, and then goes, "Give it here, give it here."
Absolutely, sir.
As you pass him the note, you feel a spark of electricity arc from his fingers to yours.
Ow. Gotta be careful running on those ropes. You're just generating a lot of static.
And as the note gets passed to him, the wizard.
I see that.
No, you don't.
The wizard furtively tucks it away and starts walking down the road. You notice that his bag is starting to glow quite brightly.
Not to interrupt, but your bags also might be glowing.
As the wizard looks down, he notes this, and a second or a few seconds later, the wizard's bag explodes. It actively just detonates. And
So, to summarize, the wizard looked down at his glowing sack, which then exploded.
Yes. I've been given
Okay.
a saucy note.
Okay.
Okay.
and the wizard turns into a very, very large pile of blackened rubble.
Not Gibbs. Not Red Mist.
No, he's just been completely.
Normal fire or black fire? I'm concerned today.
No, he's been just completely turned into ash.
Ooh.
Like,
I
yeah.
hope he wanted to be cremated.
um,
I'm presuming we can hear the explosion.
yes, everybody hears the explosion.
I'm gonna scramble back to my feet and get to the doorway then.
As
I'm assuming if the
watch.
orb were to survive the rubble pile, it would be thudding amongst the rubble pile, right?
there, as you watch, I was getting to that. You see the onyx orb that the wizard had before, that he just seemed to have purchased, roll away down a side street, and a pair of town guards start running towards you down the street.
How good are my social stats?
Good question.
Is it less than 6?
Well, it depends if we're talking persuasion or deception, but sadly, I reckon it probably would be deception.
In this instance, very possibly.
To point and go, he went that way, would probably be deception.
He could just say, I had nothing to do with it, here's what I saw, which would be the truth, and could you let you use a higher skill?
Probably.
As you stand there and the guards are getting closer,
Hey, don't pick me up.
I will.
Isaac
I
just
will
having a
not be
moment next to the
manhandled.
feather body.
The guards are approaching fast. One of them looks at the rubble, the destruction, the fact that the wall is like stained with soot, and there are rags of clothing that have been left behind. And he pulls out a large handbell and starts ringing it, and tolling it, and going, "Alarm! Alarm!" And as he does so,
At that point, Gilk stands up from the table. Well, that's my cue.
Oh no.
And I walk over to the entrance of the bar.
yeah. So
Once alarm starts, then yeah, gonna start heading back towards the bar at a pelt.
That won't look suspicious at all.
from the other end of the street, comes another set of guards who
Oh,
are
hell.
sprinting their way towards the other pair.
I attempt to look uninvolved.
And the three of you have just exited the bar. So, and since you're the only people on the street, roll me initiative.
Oh, hell.
Crap.
Not
That's...
great. 12.
I have an
11.
initiative modifier. Where would be my initiative modifier? 7.
Did you say 11?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just noting this down very quickly before I roll the guards. Okay. Okay, so first is Darren.
Darren or Darren?
Darren.
Darren.
I think.
First
Right.
up,
This is gonna
fine,
get confusing.
So, yeah.
I don't get advantage on anybody currently. Yes, I'm going to gently saunter in Isaac's direction as though I have just left the bar and am headed wobbly home.
Okay.
Also, because if we get into this fight, I imagine Isaac is probably going to need more help. Compared to the barbarian.
Very, very possibly. Okay.
Just gently whistling my way away.
Okay, next up, Isaac.
Okay.
The guards are advancing on all of you at sort of a half sprint, a bit of a jog, as it were.
Well, one thing I would have done before they targeted me, as I would have planted myself against the wall to kind of get out of their way. Seeing as how I just exited the bar, not knowing what's going on.
You can definitely do that as a pre-initiative roll move.
Okay.
Catching him in his saunter, I'm going to address Darren, and in the best, not so much forcing the drunk, but letting yourself be a bit more drunk than you when you're letting the trying to be sober fall off. And just don't. A man just exploded. I gave him the drop note and gave him and then bang, and it was so scary.
What? Men do explode. Well, they do sometimes, but not on the street. It's
one
not
did.
right. It's not
This one
proper.
did. It's okay. The
This-
gods are coming.
This, by the way, is
Okay,
someone who literally has
okay.
never been drunk. Trying to.
Okay.
If the guard looks at me, I'm gonna look at them and be like, I'm not drunk enough for this.
Okay. Ed, roll me perception with advantage because you are standing next to a drunk person. Also while also pretending to be drunk. So you can technically have a drunk conversation.
Perception or persuasion?
I will say I am exaggerating how drunk I am, but nonetheless.
Yeah,
I
deception.
mean,
Oh, deception.
Yeah.
hang on a minute. Didn't you get hammered off your stout?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, not that. Not this hammered. I was coherent when you left the bar.
Okay, you're coherent hammered. Right, fair enough. So perception +3, 21 tote.
Deception with a D. Delta.
I heard what? Right, sorry. I heard perception. Lying heard persuasion.
I did say deception, but
fair enough.
apparently...
It sounded like perception, so.
But you rolled it, so it's rolled.
Well, I was going to say I've got the same modifiers anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
It's 21 deception now.
Okay. You...
Giving
sort
them the
of-
D.
The guards run, as they're running towards you, they just see a pair of drunks and they just rush past.
Phew.
Like they push past you towards the exploded, tattered remains of what used to be a wizard. Okay. You have successfully evaded or avoided confrontation with the guards.
to Darren, just sort of fakes it. Can we go home?
Yeah, right, mate. Which way was that?
Oi, you two, we're not done
is
drinking.
it-
Get
is
your
it-
asses back in here.
Slightly too soberly points immediately in Gilk's direction. That way.
Is it not down Explodey Wizard Alley or something? Is it?
No, I think it's really not.
Alright.
Okay.
Back into the bar.
Right.
Can I clap a hand onto Gil because he tries to go back into the bar? Are you gonna let me do that, Gilk?
I mean, I'm not gonna stop you.
Okay. And just try and sort of hold him back just for a second. Just, there's a shady man planting bombs on wizards. I think that's our remit of expertise.
Tomorrow, more drink.
I would
that does sound
recommend
good.
tomorrow, but maybe
That
not
does
the
sound
more
good.
drink.
That does sound good, though. No, fuck it, we're getting more drink.
Back to our table.
All right.
At least we have chicken.
Sure,
Oh, that's
at least you have chicken.
That's an episode ender quote.
Right.
I mean, might as well. It's about 10 minutes to 2.
Yeah,
on my end here.
It's getting relatively late in the evening, and the best thing you guys could probably do at this point is, well, take a room for the night. You are in an inn at the moment, so you might as well.
Yeah. On it, not gonna lie, if you hadn't had a wizard blow up on you when you came back, I was gonna be either in the middle of a fist fight with somebody or arm wrestling. Something.
No, that's fine. Create something to happen. I wasn't expecting wizard combustion. And then bizarre deception involving drunk people.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, yeah, you guys are probably gonna have to get a room for the night because it is relatively late at this point.
As I jingle my small pocket of
Probably best to not be in the bar when they inevitably come into the bar asking questions.
Possibly.
grabs a plate of chicken. It's like, let's go to the room.
Okay.
Just like shove your fist up the chicken to like carry it like a mitten and just try to gesture to the back exit.
While biting at
Grab
it as he's
the
going.
plate
Yeah.
of chicken.
No, I like my way better.
Right. And with that, we are going to conclude the session for today. Delightful times had by all, I'm sure.
That was fun.
Right. Let us distribute some experience, shall we?
Experience? What is that?
I'm going to throw.
You haven't experienced it yet.
No, I haven't.
I'm going to throw each of you a base experience of 45 for session participation, as it were. I am going to give Saren.
Hang on. I'm pulling up my. Hang on. I need to get.
Okay, so a second while he whips this out.
All right. I got my base 45 plus what?
Plus 15 for throwing the possessed spirit pumpkin into a roaring fireplace, thusly triggering an even more dangerous form of the spirit elemental that you were originally going to fight against.
I'm cool with this.
For feeding
Yeah.
the boss a fire.
For basically feeding the boss more energy than it would have originally had. And I'm also going to give you 10 XP for discovering more about the world lore. Ed, I'm going to give you an extra 20 XP for getting the spirit of Dinar Valtor to calm down, as well as just generally managing to quiet that entire situation. And I'm going to give you an extra 10 XP for being there when a wizard exploded.
Just for being there.
For being there. Lying, I'm going to give you 15
Still
XP
10 off 11.
for the discovery of the alchemical the book on alchemical procedures of Yaldrith.
Alright.
And I'm
Gotcha.
and I'm going to give you an extra 10 XP for getting drunk off your tits, as it were.
And saving the day by doing so.
And saving the day by doing so, yes.
Never underestimate the advantage of being perceived as drunk.
Exactly. Right. That concludes today's session. Our next session will be on the 8th of June. So mark that in your characters? What the fuck is a character?
Mark that inside of your character.
What is a character?
Like, open the screw top of the head and then scribble it in there.
Yeah, mark that in your calendars. 6 p.m. GMT or UK time, whichever one you prefer to use, on the 8th of June.
Hopefully then I should not be a tired piece of shit.
Fingers crossed. But yeah.
Wait.
Additionally, hope.
I have enough. I have 315 experience. I level up. I'm
You
level 2.
up, do you? Okay.
I'm level 2.
Yeah, I forgot everyone in the party is basically miles ahead of me in levels. I'm still 10 away.
Not exactly miles away.
I'm like 65 less than that.
I need to level
did
up my
arrive
character
late,
later.
So.
This will be fun.
And I did give Saren some extra XP early on in the sessions because of
For doors.
Yeah.
For doors and yelling at the
For
banshee.
doors. For doors and yelling at people, basically, yeah.
Even Saren would be outstripped by Shark Killer, though.
I mean, fair.
Well, that is true. I think Guillaume would definitely be
The Great Shark Slayer!
be leveling up as well this session. But regardless of that, next, as I said, next session, second Wednesday of every month, 6 p.m. GMT, will be on the 8th of June. Hopefully, next session we will have a 4th player once again. Fingers crossed. Sadly, we are sad to see Aluka go, because Aluka was a fantastic player and a very, very interesting character. And you guys would have gotten a very different storyline today if Aluka had stayed with us. But yeah. For now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for watching. I am going to take a quick break before we start the next portion of the stream with Sliver and Saran. Thank you everyone for joining us this evening. I hope you all had fun. I certainly did. I certainly enjoyed throwing various obstacles in your paths.
Obstacles?
Well, I say obstacles.
I think giant burning scythe counts as an obstacle.
Yeah, I would count that. But yeah, for now though, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a quick break. Have a very good evening to my fellow players, and Saren, I shall see you in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. I'm gonna go jump into the other Discord channel just so I'm ready for that.
Bye.
And I'm gonna try to level up my character. Catch you guys later.
Laters.